So at Vidor, we do offer a service plan where we actually come out twice a year, once every 6 months, and service your doors and keep them running perfect. The biggest thing why that is important is after time those springs stretch out and they're not lifting the door properly as they should. So how we can test that is we pull this emergency string here, lock it open, and then try to manually lift the door. I should be able to lift it up one panel length here and let go, and it should stay. Because it dropped, that means we have to add tension to the springs. The springs are one thing that as a homeowner, you should not mess with on your own. So that's something that is very important to have maintained. When the door gets heavy, it puts strain on parts because the springs aren't lifting the door properly how they should, and the motor's yanking at this operator bracket. I've seen the operator brackets break, completely pull out of the door, causing damage, and I've even seen that top panel get broken in half to where then you're paying for that, where you could have just been maintaining the door to prevent that from happening. It's also putting more strain on the motor. The motor's just supposed to guide it, and the springs are supposed to do all the heavy lifting. When those springs fatigue like this door is, that motor's yanking on that top panel and trying too hard to lift it. Once it gets too bad, it'll throw an error code and the door won't even operate properly. So with this door, we're gonna add tension to all 4 springs. Another thing that we look at on these custom doors, so this is one of our overlay custom doors, a lot heavier than your standard door. So what we'll see is on these hinges, they'll start to get a little loose. So we'll go through them all, make sure they're all tight. If any of them spin, we'll put a bigger tapper in just to re-secure that properly. And you can kind of see there's some wear on where that white paint's getting scraped off because there's some wiggle room on this hinge. So we'll completely go through all these hinges. And like I said, on our custom overlay doors, it is very important to keep sure that the door is balanced just because of how heavy they are. You just see a lot more wear and tear on these doors if they're not maintained properly. Our service plan is only $159 for 2 doors, and that's only $10 more than our regular service call. And like I said, it gets you 2 visits, one every 6 months that we keep track of for you, and reach out when it's getting close and see what works best for your schedule.